Hello adventurers, I'm Gray, and this is going to be a little bit of a different type of video. It's not really a Terraria video, but I wanted something to play in the background while I'm talking, and it's basically just a chance for me to talk a little bit more about myself, come to some realizations, unscripted. Maybe I'll come up with some ideas about myself that I didn't think of before that'll just come up when I'm talking right now. I don't know, I don't really have plans other than just to talk about things, and I felt like Terraria would be a good game to do that in. Also, I made my character kind of look like me, so it's just kind of me chilling out, talking to you guys. And I've come to a realization recently that I wanted to mention, and that is that I feel like I am actually a really bad YouTuber. And I don't mean that in that I'm a bad person who's also a YouTuber, because based off things I've seen on the internet recently, there's a lot of content creators who are not really good people. There's a whole lot of allegations and things going around, and just to briefly mention that sort of stuff, like, I feel like I should talk more about issues like that, or anything that sort of interests me in these types of videos, like sort of a Gray Talks type of thing, just whatever I'm interested in, any thoughts and opinions I have on things. I want to do that more, because one part about me being a bad YouTuber is I feel like I don't open up myself a lot to anyone, to you guys, and girls, and everyone else out there. I don't really talk about things too much other than the games that I play and jokes that I make with friends. And I feel like I can do a little bit more in that regard to humanize me, you know? Because I'm a person too. Like, usually when I talk about things outside of games and YouTube, it is just school. And it makes it seem like those three things are the only things in my life. And don't get me wrong, they are the only things in my life. I'm a little bit boring. I'll fully admit that. I'm just living my life however I enjoy, whether it be laid back, not caring too much, it's fine. But I have thoughts about things too, and I feel like I avoid talking about a lot of things because I'm scared of how people will respond to them. But I want to do that a little bit more. I feel like I owe you all that much for watching me for so long to talk about different issues. But speaking more about me being a crappy YouTuber, and also mentioning those allegations real quick, I feel like I should address that just super briefly since I mentioned it. They suck. The people who do that sort of stuff suck. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of streamers and competitive gamers and stuff got accused of misconduct or sexual misconduct. And it's awful. People who do that stuff is awful, and people who falsely accuse are also awful. Both sides. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about all that stuff. Don't worry, I'm not having any sort of those things going on, because I haven't had any physical relationship with a girl in my entire life, other than my mom, who I hug sometimes. I love my mom. Hey. Okay, but part of me being a really bad YouTuber, IMO, is that I feel like I am really terrible at picking a YouTube schedule and sort of sticking to it. I always end up picking a schedule, and then within a couple of weeks, or within even a few days, I immediately fall off of that schedule and start doing my own thing. I start having life interfere. And I think it's partially because YouTube is not the forefront of my mind most of the time. It's not my number one thing I do in the day. It's something I really enjoy doing, but for me, YouTube is more like a hobby. It's something I do for fun. Ooh, I got some fries. Mickey D's. It's more something I do for fun, so I don't put it above everything else. So when something else comes up in my life that I need to focus on, like schoolwork, or family activities, or friends coming over, that sort of thing, I always prioritize that first, and then YouTube takes a back burner to that. And I could easily, like, don't get me wrong, I could easily, if I put effort in, get videos out every day, like my plan is currently. However, just because of laziness or sort of constant procrastination, putting it off, I'm like, I can record YouTube videos later today. Right now I'm catching up on YouTube videos. And when I say catching up, I mean watching YouTube videos, not making them. Or I'm catching up on some anime, or I'm playing some games with friends today, or right after this video is recorded, I'm actually going to go out to a campfire with my dad and we're going to roast some hot dogs and stuff like that in our backyard, which is going to be a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. But I've been putting off recording YouTube videos for this entire day pretty much because I've had other things I was working on, and that's like a common theme that occurs multiple days in a row. And because of that, I haven't been getting videos out like I want to, even like I promised to. Like today, I said I was going to get 2 videos out. I want to get 2 videos out still. I still need to record an episode of Graveyard Keeper. I'm going to work on that, but I can't make any promises that it's definitely going to get done. Oh my god. Why is it raining the moment I enter this world? It's horrible. But I really do want to record it and find some time to do that. However, after I'm at a campfire with my dad, I've immediately got a meeting with some classmates at school, a club meeting that's online. And then after that, I'm probably going to hang out with my friends. And then somewhere between all that stuff, I need to record Graveyard Keeper, edit the video, render it out, and then upload it, put in a description, thumbnail, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm really bad at keeping to that sort of schedule. Now, one thing I've realized about myself is that normally I'm pretty good at setting a schedule. Like, that's one thing I pride myself on with school and work and anything that I see as required. But for some reason, the moment I find something that takes like a good amount of effort that's not really a requirement for me to succeed in life, because YouTube's not my number one focus. If you don't know, I'm in pharmacy school. I talk about it all the time, so that's like the only thing I talk about. So hopefully, you know. But I do well in school. Like, I organize myself, I focus, I get all my schoolwork done ahead of time. I'm class president this coming year because everyone realized that I do all my works, like, I'm way faster than everyone else does, and I don't procrastinate when it comes to schoolwork at all, really. But when it comes to something like YouTube, that's where I end up procrastinating and things just don't really work out the way I want it to. And it sucks because I want my YouTube channel to grow. And speaking more about why I suck at YouTube, it's not just the fact that I don't upload consistently. Like, part of why I don't upload consistently is because I feel like some growth is super slow. And of course, you could say that that's largely my own fault for not uploading all the time and not uploading on things that are relevant and things like that. Things that will catch people's interest, making thumbnails that catch people's interest. And the reason being for all that stuff is that I just plain suck at coming up with ideas and coming up with things to do videos about that I think people would be interested in. I have no idea. I have no idea what people are interested in, and I just want to record games and have fun with friends. But the problem is a lot of the games that we play and record and have fun in are older things that people don't really play that much anymore, or that people still play, but they were released a long time ago, and there are other big YouTubers who do it better than I do, which is fair. But it's a little bit demoralizing to, A, see that the subscribers don't really go up that much and everything, which, like I said, I do YouTube for fun and mostly so that I can enjoy new games and things like that, so it's not too big a deal for me that the subscriber count doesn't increase that much. But at the same time, I feel like it's more demoralizing to see how poor quality my videos are compared to a lot of like the YouTubers I see coming up on YouTube now. Like, I can see new YouTubers pop up on YouTube that like come up with all sorts of crazy, like super well edited or really fun, really great ideas, carving out their own niche, and they can rise from like no subscribers to hundreds of thousands within like a year or a couple years. Or maybe a YouTuber who's been slow growing for a long time suddenly does something different and starts growing super rapidly, that sort of stuff. And then I'm just like, how do you come up with that stuff? How do you get the skills to record those types of videos if they're like super well edited and all that stuff? I don't know how they do it. I don't know where they learn. I don't know how they grow that fast either, because normally it's super difficult to get started on YouTube from what I've seen. However, I guess a lot of YouTubers seem to have connections, from what I've seen at least. A lot of them have connections to other YouTubers, and they kind of help to quick start them that way. And I don't have anyone like that. I don't even know anyone else who's close to me who does YouTube videos. This house is unsymmetrical and I'm very upset. So I'm just kind of starting from fresh with no idea what to do, and I have no idea how to improve on it, other than to try harder and come up with more ideas and that sort of stuff. But the problem with that is that, like I said, my full focus is on school. I'm focused on getting a good career in healthcare and trying to make money that way and trying to form relationships in there, form connections in the fields, and that sort of thing. And because of that, I feel always so tired that I don't want to message people on YouTube to collab or spend time brainstorming to come up with a video idea that would be worthwhile. Because I already spend so much brain power focusing on school stuff that I'm too tired to focus on making YouTube really good. Hopefully this is sort of understood. And I feel like this is something I really want to work on because I haven't really admitted it to myself really that often. Like, sometimes I think about it, like, I haven't been doing YouTube that well, but I just ignore it, telling myself it's a hobby, it's not a big deal, it's not something you need to worry too much about. But in my mind, I feel like I do worry about it. Like, I tell myself I'm not worried, but I do worry about it, and I want to do it better, but I just can't bring myself to really do it that well. And this isn't like a quitting YouTube type video, because I still want to keep doing YouTube videos, but I just want to let you all know that that's sort of what's been going on, that's sort of how I feel. And I really do want to improve on how I do stuff on YouTube, maybe collab with people in the future. But I'm so busy all the time that I'm afraid to tell someone if I want to collab, because I feel like I'll end up pulling out before the time comes for the collab to happen, if you know what I mean. Just because my time is so limited with school and everything going on. It's like a constant thing going on. And don't worry, I'm not really that stressed If there's one thing that I'm pretty good at, well, several things I'm pretty good at. One is staying organized. I'm pretty good at staying organized and planning a schedule, other than for YouTube apparently. But for like school and things that are necessary, I am. And I'm also pretty good at not stressing about things. I'm not a stressed out guy, and I think that comes in part from my brother, my brother used to have panic attacks all the time. He's that type of guy. He had like mental health issues and depression and all that sort of stuff going on, suicidal ideations in the past, so he's a lot better now, don't worry. Ow. Oh, God. But because of that, I wanted to avoid that, and I just taught myself how to avoid stressing about things, how to take everything a step at a time and not worry too much about it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. Like, I don't stress too much about things. But just because I don't stress myself to the point of exhaustion doesn't mean I don't want to improve, and doesn't mean that I don't ever feel bad about things that aren't going my way, that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's sort of something I've been thinking about recently. And perhaps I'll try some new styles of content in the future. Perhaps I'll try improving, getting my schedule better with YouTube stuff. But as of right now, that's sort of what's been holding me back, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Maybe I'll talk more about other issues and making more videos like this, where I just talk about things, because this is pretty fun, honestly. Ow. Like, maybe I can talk about depression a little bit, or something more hard-hitting, something important, something relevant. And I feel like Terraria is a good game to do something like that in, perhaps. Maybe in the future. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to say for now. Hopefully it wasn't too long-winded. I feel like I need to improve a little bit on making my discussion videos a little bit shorter, a little bit more concise, especially if they're unscripted like this one is. I'll work on that in the future and maybe talk about different things. Whatever you want me to talk about, you know? You can let me know if you want me to mention my thoughts on something. I might do it. Anyway, that's all for now. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. It felt good to get that off my chest. And I will see you all on the next adventure.